Hi, welcome to Stuffbox. In this video, I'll be teaching you the Keynote basics. There are two parts to this. This video will show you all the essential tools to make your Keynote, and the second part is about animations and applying what you've learned on this video. If you haven't yet, please don't forget to subscribe. Now let's begin. To start, let's open Keynote. Here you are presented with a bunch of themes. There are two sizes, standard and wide. Standard is the 4:3 ratio, and wide is the 16:9 aspect ratio. If you are presenting on a high definition screen, I suggest you pick wide. From here, you'll see all the available templates. On this tutorial, I'm going to pick the white template and click choose. You can easily change the size of your deck by going to document, and you'll see slide size, which is right now set to 16:9. Click it, click custom slide size, and choose whatever resolution you want. If you want to make it a square, you can do that. Or if you want to put it back to the widescreen, we can do that. We'll talk more about all the options around here later on. Next, I want to talk about the available toolbar on the top. Starting from the left is View. In order to show you these different views, it's better if we use a Keynote document that I've already created. We will be creating this document later on. Click View, and it'll show you that we are on Navigator View. If you pick slide only, it will show you the current slide selected. Pick light table, and it will show you your slide as thumbnails. And for outline view, this is how it will look. Normally, I like working on Navigator. Sometimes I'll work with Show Object List, which shows you all the elements that are in your slides. So now, let's go back to our blank presentation. And the next one is Zoom. Right now it's set to 46%. You can make it to 100 or fit the slide. You can make it 50% or 25%. And the next one is Add Slide. This will show you all the available slide format that you can use. On the Navigator menu, you can also right-click and click Skip Slide, which will minimize that slide. This is very helpful if you have a bunch of slides and you just want to hide a specific slide. To put it back in a view, right-click on it and click on Skip Slide. If you want to delete a specific slide, select it and press Delete on your keyboard. The next one is Play, which is the presentation mode. Currently we don't have anything, so as you can see, it's all blank. Keynote Live is a way to present to viewers on the internet, but you will need an iCloud account. The next one is Table, but first I want to delete this content so I can show you Table button properly. You can either select and press Delete, or another option is click Add Slide and select Blank Template. With Table, you have a wide variety of templates that's available to you. You can pick whichever one you like. You can easily resize this table by clicking the square box around it. You can make it bigger or taller or adjust it like that. When you adjust it and you want it to be more proportionate, you can press the Shift button on your keyboard, click and drag the square box. To move a table, click it and drag it whichever position you want. When you move it and a yellow line shows up across, it means it's centered horizontally. And then when you see a yellow cross lines, you'll know that your object is in the middle of the slide. If you want to change the format of this table, click Format. If you want to choose a different template, you can do so by clicking that. There are different options over here. You can remove the highlighted column on the left, or you can increase it by adding 2 of them. Put it back to 1. You can also have 1 footer or none. You can also include a table name. Moving on to the next option, you can increase the rows as well as the columns. You can also increase the table font size. You can do that by highlighting the box and then clicking on this big A. From here, you can also edit each cell and have a specific border or color. So right now it's beige color. You can pick a specific cell and change it to light blue or something else. Or you can also pick no fill. Another option for adding a row or column is by clicking on the circle and increasing the column or reducing them. Same thing on the bottom left, you can increase the number of rows. The next menu on the top is the chart. I'll just open the next slide. Click Chart. Here, you are presented with a bunch of templates again. You can choose from different colors and the different types. It even has a 3D as well as interactive. So with 2D, let's say we'll pick the bar chart for now. Just like the table, you can resize this by clicking and dragging it and then move it to put it on the middle of the slide. You'll also see that the options on the right have changed. Now these options are relative to which element or objects you have selected. Earlier we had the table selected and that gave you the table options. In this case we have the chart selected, so it gave us the chart options. With charts you can easily pick a different style. You can also include a title and you can double click that. Click the chart again. You can also include a border. You can also include a legend. So right now, as you can see, we only have the sample data. If you want to edit the data, right click the chart and click Show Chart Data Editor. And when you click Close, it will update your chart. If you want to edit your data again, you click that Edit Chart Data. The data is not permanent and you can easily edit all the contents. If you click Chart again, and scroll down and under Chart Type, you can change it to 3D, which gives you that option, and you can move that. You can also change the chart type to interactive. The interactive is based on each column. In our data, we had April, May, June, and July. With interactive, you can click on the dots and then it will go to the next data. So next thing I want to show you is text. Let's add another blank slide. Click on the add slide and click on blank. The next one beside chart is text. As you can see, the format has changed again. We can click on the style tab and that gives us all the other options, including a background fill if you want. We can also put a border on it, or a picture frame border type. We can put a shadow if you want to. It also gives you all the shadow options. We can put a reflection on it, as well as change the opacity. I'm just going to undo all of that. On the text tab, right beside style, this is where you can change the font type. You have to highlight the whole sentence or paragraph to change its font. If you don't highlight the whole sentence, it will only change the word where the cursor is. I'm gonna highlight the whole sentence and change the font. Pro tip, a quicker way to highlight a whole sentence is by triple clicking your mouse. The great thing about this is that you can customize one text box as opposed to adding multiple ones. This provides a cleaner and less cluttered slides. If you want to increase the font of a word, you can do that without adding another text box. You can also change the color of that specific word if you want to. So there's a lot more options over here. Right now in terms of alignment, it defaults to middle. You can make it go on the left, but in our case it's not that noticeable. Over here on the bottom, you can increase the spacing of each paragraph. If you have a permanent object and you don't want it to be modified accidentally, select the object, then right click, and then select Locked. As you can see, the format options on the right has disappeared. I also cannot move this text box since we've locked it. If you want to unlock it, select the object, then right click again, and select Unlock. And then you can now move it. If you want to increase that text box, click the small box on the side, then click and drag. And of course, if you need to, you can add another text box inside that same slide. The next thing we'll look at is shapes. Apple has given you a lot of shapes and it's always growing every time it's updated. You have all the basic shapes, including the square. There are a lot of shapes here and Apple has categorized them, and it even has a search bar. You can type over here. You can use these shapes for your background, as well as icons or borders. So in this example, we'll pick a square. Just like all the other objects that we have, click on that square box to resize it, which is currently a rectangle. But if you hold the Shift button on your keyboard, that makes it a square. You can use shapes if you only want to make a portion of your slide to have a background, and not the full slide. I'll drag this close to the corner, then adjust the size. But currently, that covers our text. If you right click on that shape and click Send to Back, this will send the shape all the way to the back. If you want to change the color of this box, pick Style and change it. You can also change it from here. You can also make it gradient, as well as advanced image fill, which you can choose whatever image you want. I just want it to be plain, so I'm going to undo that. You can add multiple shapes if you want. Let's choose a shirt. We'll make it bigger. Change a different color. With shapes, you can add text in it by double-clicking on the object. If you want to change the color of the font, you can highlight it and click the text color. But I actually like the white one, so I'll put it back to what it was. If you can't find the shapes that you want, click Shapes and click the pen tool. Here you can click different points. Once you've connected all the points, that is basically your shape. If you want to make a curve, hover over your mouse pointer in between your points and a circle will appear. Drag the circle and it will make a curved line. I don't know what I'm making here, but I'll put eyes on this weird looking object. We'll move that, we'll copy and paste it. We might as well complete the face. Okay, we'll paste another circle over here. Make this flat. By the way, I'm using Command C to copy and Command V to duplicate the circle. There you go. With any predefined shapes, you can also edit them. For example, say we'll go with food. We'll make this bigger. And let's pick red on this. If you right click on a shape and click Make Editable. Now this gives you all the different points. If you drag the circle point, it will create a bigger curve. If you drag the square point out, this is the result. And if you drag it in, it will give you this result. Now let's say you want to change the color of this leaf into green. You can do that by clicking the pen and trace that. Drag that circle point to adjust the curve. So now we can change the color to green. Now to combine that, highlight these two items, right click it, and group it. So you now have your own object which has a green leaf. Just like any other objects, including the text, you can right click on the shape and click Lock. And that will not be editable. Now the next I want to show you is Media. Let's click Add Slide and click on a blank slide. With this, Media refers to audio, video, and pictures. When you choose Photos, Movies, and Music, this will open your photo library, movies library, as well as music. So you click on Photos, that gives you all the recent photos. Now this is the same for music and movies. These are useful if all your photos are organized in the Photos library. But if it's not, if it's on a desktop or the Downloads folder, click Choose and it will open one of your folders. Here, you can click the picture and click Insert. Now that we've inserted a photo, you can resize that and reposition it in your slide. Now if you want to add an image gallery, I'll show you how to do that. Click on Add Slide and click Blank. With Image Gallery, this is a good way to showcase your multiple photos without creating multiple slides. From the options on the right, select Gallery if it's not already open. Over here, this is where you want to put all the photos that you want to showcase. Click plus, select all the photos that you want to present. You can do that by clicking the first one and hold Shift button and click. And now click Open. Each photo can have its own individual caption. You double click that caption and then go to Next. If you want to make the image library bigger, you can do so by doing that. And again, reposition it. If you want the same caption for all your images, click Same Caption and then type the caption that you want. If you change your mind, you can easily go back to individual caption per image. Another way of inserting videos and movies onto your slide is by dragging it from a folder. Let's add another slide. Put a blank one. I'm gonna open my Finder. Right there. Drag an image. And now, there it is. You can resize that photo if you want to. With photo formatting, you can put a border on it, which is a simple line or a picture frame. You can change the border as well. It's not visible in this, but you can increase the border so it's much more visible. You can also put a shadow. As well as change the opacity. Just like the other objects, you can right click it and click Lock. This way, you can't accidentally edit it or move the image. And then unlock it again. There are a few editing features that you can use as well. Click Image. Click Edit Mask. This will allow you to zoom in. You can also crop the image. You can also adjust the exposure as well as the saturation. With Instant Alpha option, this is a good way to delete certain background. If you click and drag, you can see that it removes certain background. On a photo like this, it's sometimes difficult. It's better to use Instant Alpha on solid colors, although this is actually doing a pretty good job. You can add a text. The next one on the toolbar is Comment. This comment box is not visible on presentation mode. You'll also notice that the comment box is the only tool that doesn't have a format options. But you can still increase the font size by going to Keynote, then Preferences. And over here, you see Text Size. You can then increase the font size here. I'm just going to put it back to the default 12. When you're done, close it. If you don't want to see the comments because you've already acknowledged them, you can either press Delete over here. I'll put the comment back. Or you can go to View, Comments, then Hide Comments. And then if you want to view it again, go to View, Comments, and Show Comments. Now if we press play on this presentation, you can see that the comment is not visible in presentation mode. The next one is Collaborate. This is a great feature if you want to work with multiple people on one keynote. This saves a lot of time because usually you'll need to wait for someone to finish a keynote before starting to work on that same keynote. Each collaborator requires their own iCloud account, and it also works with Keynote Web. This means that Windows users can be collaborators as well. However, Keynote Web has limited features and it's not the same as working on a keynote on a Mac. To collaborate, click this button. Click System Preferences. Then now log in using your Apple ID. Enter your password. Click Next. Agree on the terms and conditions. And then click Continue. I'm going to deselect Use Find My Mac and click Next. So now that's logged in, close this window. And then click Collaborate again. Here you have multiple options. You can mail the link to your collaborators, you can message the link to your collaborators, you can copy the link to your collaborators, you can airdrop them, as well as Simulator, which we're not going to discuss. With regards to share options, you have different choices. Right now, it's only people you invite has access to it. You can also set it to anyone with the link. In regards to permission, anyone that has a link can make changes, or you can set it to view only. I'm going to set it to copy link, and then I'm going to type the collaborator's email address. After that, click Share. With copy link option, you need to be able to send the link to your collaborator. Now that we've shared our file, you'll notice that the Collaborate button has a number 1 on it. It means that we've shared it to one person. Every time your collaborator edits your keynote, you'll notice a small triangle that appears. This indicates that your collaborator is editing that part of the keynote. If you want to remove access to your collaborator, click on Collaborate, then there's 3 dots, and then remove access. Now the last thing I want to talk about is Animate. Animate is a much bigger topic, and it's better if I show you animations when we have a proper document to work on. To do that, go to part 2 of this video, which is linked in the description below. For now, thank you very much for watching. I hope you subscribe and watch the next video.